What's going on, everybody? Sorry, no NWO music tonight. New world order. Just remember that, and because it's for life. This is the Full Press Hockey Weekly pregame show to Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. I'm your host and the voice of Full Press Hockey, Jim Berenger, rocking and rolling alongside Chris Wassel. Ian behind the scenes. Get it at Full Press NHL on Twitter, Full Press coverage on Facebook and YouTube, and the audio version, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Chris, we are here. Game 5, Stanley Cup Final.
You mean this could actually end tonight?
Yeah. It could.
It could.
It might.
You have this feeling like the Matrix revolutions, where it's like, sort of like this can't be real, and yet it is.
Look, Vegas wins Game 4, 3-2. They hung on. They survived. They dominated at times. They let Florida hang around at times. I don't expect to see that Vegas team. I expect to see the Vegas team that we saw in Game 6 against Dallas of the Western Conference Final. That's the team I expect to see, the team that comes out and looks to try to end the series in the first period.
Right. And the goofiest thing about Game 4 that people aren't going to realize, if you look at a snapshot of the entire game as a whole and you look at some of the numbers that are floating out there, for the most part, Vegas vastly outplayed Florida at even strength. It's just that there were enough parts in that Game 4 where it was just like, ooh, whoa, you guys are like holding on a little bit too much there. And there was enough of those that people noticed and saw that sort of like gave this different picture of a game where Florida honestly scored a couple goals against the flow of play. But what was odd was, most teams, they get momentum and such after a goal. Vegas actually had momentum after both Florida goals. Funny enough.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Then sort of like had this weird part where you thought the momentum would keep going, it just stopped.
Well, we talked about it prior to Game 4. I think the first goal was huge either way, and Vegas gets it early. But the problem is, watching it, I kind of think they sat back, and we talked about like it could be a similar thing to Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Final, and it was. Florida survives the first period. Yep. You take it, if you're a Panther, you take it as a win. You're only down 1-0. And I tweeted it out, and I said, okay, when's the push coming? And like right on cue, Vegas just starts like coming, and because I was watching the game, it's like this isn't the Game 5. This isn't the Game 6 Dallas Vegas team I've seen. Like they're too passive, they're too defensive. They're and then they come, and they came in waves every single time. They just kept going, and they get the 2 goals, and they dominate, and then the fluky Montour goal gives Florida life, and then they get Barkov on the board, and again I wondered when another push was going to come, and they get it, and they kind of eat the clock, but then again, they survive because Aiden Hill makes another series-changing save.
And we've said it from the beginning here. Aiden Hill has found ways to make saves that maybe arguably he normally wouldn't make. But then again, we're kind of at a new normal with a goalie who is growing right before our eyes. So can you equate that? No. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like the guy is feeling it. He's rolling with it. And as fans, experts, whatever, you just kind of have to go, okay. He's on a roll.
Yeah, he's on a roll. I mean, look, he stopped. How many times he stopped Tkachuk in the first period? I mean, granted, Tkachuk's playing with a bum wing. He's playing with a bad shoulder, game time decision, all that stuff. But some of those shots, there was one where he did lift the puck and it went right into his glove.
Yeah.
Again, you go back to the set save with 0.2 seconds left. I mean, yeah, maybe if his shoulder's a little bit better, maybe he can lift it. I don't know. I think Aiden Hill's still making that save because he's in the right position. But again,
absolutely,
Vegas just figured out a way, and like not for nothing, but the Pietrangelo puck over the glass, like again, every penalty is subjective except that one. But that's one that needs to be reviewed and talked about and be like, well, the guy's hacking him, and that's why the puck goes over the glass. Like,
Mm.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there was a slash there, so
Something was there.
there was something there. But again, they won. It doesn't matter. But Florida got their game. But again, if Kachuk doesn't get inside position for the backdoor tap in, which I think anybody would get, maybe maybe the Stanley Cup's already been awarded on Saturday. But
Maybe.
maybe, but it just feels different because the numbers and everything is just going against Florida. 0-6-1
It
in
really
Vegas.
is.
I mean, down 3-1. We know what the Maple Leafs did in 42. Again, this isn't the Boston Bruins in round one. This isn't the same Florida Panthers team from round one. This Vegas team knows how to close out a series. They're bigger, they're physical, they're deeper. 11 different goal scorers in the series. Like, that pretty much sums up what's been going on right now.
You have 11 different goal scorers, 14 or 15 different guys who have gotten points. Actually, it might be more now.
Yeah, probably has more. I think it's like
since
16,
they
17.
Yeah, since they added and subtracted a couple points on Saturday. Actually, game 3 and 4 according to this. Go figure. I looked at a scoring change today that was from like 3 days ago. I'm like, what?
We're changing. Okay, whatever.
We're changing stuff like way after the fact. Something interesting though, and I don't know if Florida will try this tonight. This will be intriguing. So, Aiden Hill has faced 30 or more shots 3 times in this series, surprisingly enough.
Yeah,
and not the overtime game, which is kind of weird.
that is kind of weird.
But naturally, of course, people will ask. The game where Florida only had 23 shots was the game where they had the most quality scoring chances. Is there a less is more type of theory here? If you're Florida, try to be actually a little bit more selective in your shots.
Maybe you need to get more pucks through.
Because Dallas had that working for about a game and a half. Now the thing is that going to get you 3 straight wins? And the answer is
absolutely not. Not against this team. No
right.
way.
And that's the thing everybody's been saying. It's like, okay, you like Dallas fairly stole a game, arguably too. In the sense
game 4, they got the OT win that they didn't have all playoff long. Game 5, Vegas didn't really play great.
That was like the one time where Hill looked a little bit vulnerable. And to be fair,
but
remember that one goal was because there was
Petrangelo doesn't get his stick in the way, and he's making that save. And he had made so many great saves in that game anyway. So, look,
it's one of those things where it's like Florida has painted itself into such a corner that.
Do I think they have a shot? Everybody has a shot. Do I think it's going to be over tonight? Yeah, I do. Like, I think Vegas is lifting the Stanley Cup tonight. I think I just expect a team that I saw in Game 6, which I haven't seen yet, to come out and try to end the series. And Braden makes the 11 of the 11 different goal scorer. How many defensemen? I believe it's Whitecloud, Martinez.
Yeah, this should.
I think it's only 2 defensemen, right?
Yeah, this is kind of the goofy part about this. I mean, assists, yeah, defensemen, but goals, no, just 2 according to this. See, the problem is when you go through some of the stat counters, they do it for a regular season where you can easily sort it. Playoffs, little dicey. So,
yeah,
it's the old kind of bear with us as we're trying to figure out like how the heck to sort of do the math for this. But now it's about 2 or 3.
Yeah. I mean, look, Florida, Montour's heating up, Barkov's heating up, but again, you need more. You need more from Duclair. You need more from Bennett. You need more from Reinhart. You need more from Verhaeghe. But all these guys are banged up. And like I said, everybody on that team is banged up. Gudas is hurt. And Vegas is healthy. Vegas is rolling. I mean, look, Eichel hasn't scored in, 12 games or something.
And it
Like the
doesn't
guy,
matter.
and it doesn't matter. But I think he's scoring tonight. I really do. I think he's going to get a goal tonight.
Yes,
I
we have
really do.
we have them listed because all right, for one of the most obvious reasons. Everybody listening and you, I'm sure most people have seen this jump, particularly in the last 2 to 3 hours. The Vegas money line at lunchtime was minus 165. You know where it is now, Jim, on DraftKings?
What is it?
200. And there's a few sites that it's pushing 210, 215 even. So we all know where the money's going.
Right. People are betting Florida, but
the overall handle itself is going to Vegas.
right, and rightfully so. Look, entering the series, we said probably Vegas in 6, but I always said I would like to see the home team win it. I think it can happen. I really do. I don't see a way for Florida, the way they're so banged up and their best player not able to be playing at 100% and playing his game
Yeah.
to be effective. And you're 0 for 13 on the power play. Like
Yep.
the guy who's contributing 41% of the offense has a bum shoulder.
Yeah.
It's just look, I know it's tough. I think the advantage, because of the 2 days off, it actually helps Vegas because of all the stuff around clinching at home and all that stuff. Like I really do. I think if the game was yesterday, I think I would have given Florida more of a chance to extend the series.
Yeah, that's something that has to be considered for everybody.
Am I wrong thinking that way? I'm just.
It's a unique. This is unique only for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, Florida hasn't won a Stanley Cup. Vegas hasn't won a Stanley Cup. Vegas has seen also what it's like to watch the Stanley Cup be clinched in their arena
6 years ago.
So you think they're motivated to have a party of their own there?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we went back through this.
I think the last actually, funny enough, we bring it up a home team. Speaking of a home team, it was 2 years ago. We were doing this show. Tampa Bay won at home against Montreal bubble, yes, but
bubble light,
semi-bubble,
bubble light.
Yeah, bubble light. The 2001 Stanley Cup Final was won on home ice. The Tampa Bay Lightning went back-to-back. They beat the Montreal Canadiens in 5 games, and they dominated Game 5.
Ooh. Here's our funny ancient theory of crazy. Just from Game 2, Jim, we had 1, 2, 3 goals from defensemen. Only 2 different defensemen, technically.
Right.
Because of that schmucky Howden guy, all those other people that had to get greedy. But no, this is where it gets fun. Obviously, because you totally had Alec Martinez scoring the Ken Danico goal.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, Danico become a goal scorer. It must be a leap year.
People actually said no. I'm like no, it's true. So obviously we were correct the first time. We get bonus points. So it was actually almost, we were almost right. We were so close.
Yes.
There were 3.
There are 3.
White Cloud.
Martinez
we had. How about the first defensive goal from Vegas was from none other than Shea Theodore.
Shea Theodore scored, yep.
Lost in the 3, shuffle of shuffles.
But still, 3 out of 11 different goal scorers. I mean,
here's the comical part. That was Theodore's first goal of the playoffs.
In Game 1.
Was in Game 1, and Martinez's
wasn't that? It was also on the power play, right?
It was on the tail end, so almost, but the power penalty had expired.
Okay, so.
But you know what? The guy wasn't on the ice fully yet, so
we'll give it to him. But no, I mean, look, the way Vegas has come in. We've talked about this. I don't know how often, But I think really, if you go check out Full Press Hockey, the keys to the game are up there. I'm telling right now, you got to keep your emotions in check. You got to be able to play smart hockey. Look, the the first goal matters, and it really matters more if you're a Florida Panther, because if Vegas gets that first goal, the steam for the train is coming, and it's going to
Yeah.
be coming shift after shift after shift. If Florida can score first, we've seen Vegas come back in the first period. We know what they can do.
Yeah.
You got to keep it close, but if Vegas allows the crowd to get into it early and gets a
Ooh.
quick early goal, forget it. Steam train's coming, and um, it's going to be party tonight in Vegas. I still think there's going to be a party tonight, and maybe similar to Game 5 in 2018, where Washington, it was a kind of a feeling out process. Vegas had the lead. Washington comes back, rallies, gets the cup, kind of thing. Could be like that. Could
Mhm.
be a
Could be.
scenario like that. But again,
We,
we won't know until the puck drops. But I'm telling you right now, the first 10 minutes of this game is huge.
yeah,
Huge.
just
Huge.
strap in and watch you're gonna see the adrenaline flow, especially from the Vegas side.
Yeah, they're gonna want it, and they're gonna want it early.
You're
You
gonna
you
see
know,
some things that you normally wouldn't see in this series, maybe in the first. If you're gonna see unusual, it's probably gonna be in the first period.
yeah, because the nerves, and you got to settle in, and but you know what? I don't even think that's gonna be a factor, because you have guys that have won cups before on this team, like
True.
Petrangelo, Martinez. Martinez was in this position in 2014. He scored the game winner in overtime to win a cup. Like,
Thank you, Lord. Oh, wait, we're not supposed to let that show on this show. Oops.
um,
My
but
bad. My bad.
But
My
what I'm
bad.
saying is, you have leaders, and you've got guys that have been there before and won Stanley Cups. Barbashev, these guys know what it takes. They know to put the distractions aside. They're not good. They're going to be businesslike. They're going to come out, and they're going to be businesslike.
Absolutely, and we've said it before. I mean, look, if you go up and down the Vegas lineup, you've got guys that even the smaller guys hit like big guys.
hmm And you think about this, right? The six original members, the original Golden Misfits. You don't think that they know what it was like.
Especially that certain guy who was sort of cast off from Florida.
Yeah, Jonathan Marsh is still. Look, those six guys saw what it happened 6 years ago. You don't think those guys are motivated?
Oh, they're. Whew.
Look,
I keep forgetting Riley Smith even
Riley
because he
Smith,
was
Braden
also from.
McNabb, Haig, I think, or Marsh, definitely Marshall. There's a couple other guys.
Yeah.
Um,
Marshall
but
Carlson Smith is the easiest because it's
yeah,
like that was the original Misfits line.
that was the Misfits line with McNabb, and who was the other defenseman? Was it Haig?
Well, Haig was kind of interchanged, but at that time, yeah, we'll go with it.
Waugh was one of them, right? Nick Waugh was one of the original Misfits, maybe.
Fringe,
Yeah,
sort of.
fringe, yeah. But anyway, that look, this anything can happen in the stand. We've seen it. We know what Florida can do, but you can't rely on that. You can't rely on of what happened in the past, because first round is one thing. We've seen it before. Stanley Cup Final is
Yeah,
a whole different animal, and you're
yeah,
seeing it kind of play out on both sides. The better team, like Denver, figured out, closed it out. Okay, party time. Vegas, it probably is going to be party time.
yeah. This is one of those where it feels, it really does feel anticlimactic, doesn't it?
It does. I just don't see a way for the series going back to Florida on Friday. I really don't.
It's rough. I mean, there's like one or two scenarios, but I mean, this is something that like has to like. There's too many things that have to play out for it to happen, and you can't
Uh,
see it.
And as we said, Vegas just a bigger team, better team, more physical team. I think Mark Stone probably have a good night. Those guys are going to want to show. These guys wouldn't want to win in front of their home crowd. Um,
Think of what Vegas has been through the past few years too. I mean,
yeah, the
obviously
heartbreak.
the shooting. I mean, you just go down the line
This
where
this team Bill Foley said it. 6 years in Stanley Cup. These guys are motivated. They want to do it. The mission, the complete the mission, everything for Foley. I think it happens tonight, and good for them because they're the better team. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But again, it's going to be very interesting to watch.
Yeah, what's crazy is, we laughed, a lot of people laughed us off, like, yeah, they're crazy. They're not gonna get that far this year. And then it's like everything started to come together late in the season. And in the playoffs, you start seeing teams lose that maybe shouldn't have,
Right.
perhaps. And it's like, well, look at who's left. Oh, oh wow. We're wrong.
I think once they got past Edmonton, I think you could see what they could. You knew
Yeah,
something was going on,
right.
and I said it other places. They've been able to contain Kachuk. Why? Besides, outside of the injury, they contained the two best players in the world.
Yeah,
All right, so Draisaitl scored 4 goals in one game. What do he do for the rest of the series? Zip. You know what Vegas adjusted to when their penalty kill was getting killed? They didn't take any penalties.
Yeah. I mean, look, Bruce Cassidy said it himself. He's like, there's a reason why we only had like 7 minutes a game in minors the whole entire season. We needed to start playing like that. That's why we advanced.
Yeah. So, look, it's going to be crazy. Game 5 is going to be nuts. Before we get out of here, obviously, we got to talk off ice stuff as well. New York Rangers hired a new head coach, Peter Laviolette, the front runner for I don't know how many weeks now. Other guys patting themselves on the back saying they called it. This guy, look, I don't know what took so long. If this was your guy, you should have announced it a few weeks ago. I think everybody knew it was going to be him.
Were you waiting on somebody and you couldn't
Probably.
wait?
I think they were waiting on Quenneville, and I think they probably got inclinations from the league that he was probably not getting reinstated.
Yeah, well, and of course you'll never hear like one way or the other.
No, you won't. But if Laviolette was truly your guy, why was the decision this long to make? And
Yeah,
the
this
day
shouldn't have
of
gone
game
into June.
and the day of game 5 of the Stanley Cup final.
Seems odd, right?
Right, it does. I think they were able to get in contact with the league, and I don't have any way to prove it, but
Right.
it just makes the most sense.
I mean, yeah, something was maybe a little fishy. Grilled fish?
Goldfish? I don't know.
Maybe. But again, what you're getting with Laviolette, you're getting a reputation and a resume.
But, and here's my counter argument about this defensive coach, and he's a good coach. Not to take anything away from what he's done. He's a Stanley Cup champion. He took the Nashville Predators to Stanley Cup. The guy hasn't won a playoff round since 2018.
It's a concern. There is no question that it is a concern. It was interesting, though, a couple former not former, well, one probably will be at some point, and another who's still on the team said that, to be fair, Laviolette probably adapted more in the last year than he has in any time other than Washington.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, last year's Capitals team that took the Panthers to 6 games probably should have advanced, but defensively they gave way when they had a lead. They had the Panthers down and out.
Yeah, they had control of at least, I would argue, 3
Every
of those 4
game.
losses, Jim.
Yeah, easily.
At a minimum.
Easily. Game 5 and game 6, they should have not lost. They should have won that series. Hands down, they should have won that series.
And somebody had said it to me right then and there. He's like, look, I know Laviolette in some ways shouldn't take a fall for that, but I know other organizations where if that happened in that way, he would have been gone.
Look, absolutely, 100% he would have been gone. And look, you don't want to foresee into the future about guys losing jobs, but there is a short leash right now for him in New York because of that
Oof.
window. I would put it at 2 years.
I saw not an official prop yet because they won't put it up because
No, they're
obviously
not going to put it.
he hasn't coached. A, he hasn't coached the game, and B, it's not close enough to the regular season. Under 2.5, Jim, plus 120.
Look,
Oh
you don't
yeah,
want to ever call for anybody's job. I mean, I don't want to do that. Look,
and
I'm
we're not
I'm
going to do
not,
it.
and we're not doing it. But you have to foresee what this team is, because realistically, this Rangers team is, the window is now for them to win. And yes, will you get? I think you'll get more out of Lafreniere and Kako with Laviolette behind the bench. I really do, because I thought Rasmus Sandin, the trade coming over, I thought he was very effective, and I thought a lot of the younger players were effective on that team.
Right.
But they're in a win now mode. You're in the winning business, as Kelly McCrimmon has said, and don't be mad at him and what Vegas is doing, and mad at Vegas because they go after everybody. Your general manager can do it too if they choose not to. It's
Yeah.
the truth. It's the straight truth.
And look, the
Um,
Rangers did it, and it didn't work. It completely backfired. But then again, you could see it coming.
well, yeah, you could, but again, the team was good, and then they were good even after Tarasenko trade. I think the thing that didn't make
It's the
things
game
work was
move.
Kane, because he just didn't fit into that lineup.
Right. How do you expect a coach to make adjustments with a player that is definitely not healthy? And as we saw, we kept saying it: hip, hip, hip,
Hip,
hip,
hip,
and sure
hip.
enough, here you go, hip resurfacing, another player, and you don't know when he's going to even come back.
But he's not coming back to the Rangers.
Of course, no, he's not coming back to the Rangers, and who
I don't
knows
even
who,
think
who
I don't even think Tarasenko will be coming back.
there's a possibility also that Tarasenko may not come back. Here you go. What if Tarasenko goes back somewhere?
What are you saying?
Maybe a reunion with St. Louis.
Maybe.
There's
I
a
doubt it
there's
though. The way that
there's
things ended there, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if it was really as bad as it was made out to be. I mean, look, there's no guarantee,
No.
especially with A, the market that we see right now, and B, the rumors that are flying out there, which just an
I mean,
insane amount
I
of
mean,
BS rumors.
Tarasenko to New Jersey, Tarasenko to the Islanders, Tarasenko to this
Let's
team.
see. Let's see. We've heard Tarasenko here, Tarasenko there, Tarasenko everywhere. Hellebuck here, Hellebuck there,
But
Hellebuck
I
here.
will say about Hellebuck though. I mean, I think the teams that are in on Hellebuck are LA, are Buffalo, are New Jersey, are a team like Detroit. I think those teams are definitely looking at him.
Yeah, don't sleep on Detroit either.
I think a guy like Soros is in play for the Devils, maybe the Kings, something like that. I really do. Like, I think those, and Gibson, I somehow see Pittsburgh getting John Gibson. I really do.
You think this finally, actually happens? I mean, it's only been what 2+ years now.
I think he needs a change of scenery. I really do. Like, this guy, I mean, he must have faced the most rubber in the league like every year with that Anaheim team, and the way they're doing it, the way they're going through that, I just think get
Oof.
him out, make the move. He's gonna
Yeah,
be good for somebody.
right. I mean, you got to think about it. For those listening on in, Anaheim gave up 39.5 shots per game last year.
And somehow won. I don't know how many games they won.
Anaheim shouldn't have won 10 games last year,
Yep.
but how much they gave up.
Yeah, probably did.
Arguably,
Yeah, arguably, he
all
probably
right.
did.
Braden listening in our chat room, you win.
You
He
win.
probably faced more rubber than the I-5 freeway could ever muster.
Absolutely,
Maybe
100%.
maybe even the 101. Perhaps, maybe this, one of those, maybe the 405 even, because
Maybe the 405. Maybe the
here
405.
you go, Jim. Here's one. Here's one for our
I
Coachella.
95.
Oh no, for our we'll get there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But for our Coachella fans, because hey, the Coachella Firebirds or Coachella Valbirds are on their way potentially to winning the Calder Cup. the 111 strip through Cathedral City, Rancho Mirage, and Palm Desert, baby.
Yeah,
That's right. See, for those
that's
that
true.
don't, people forget. Yeah, I have some Southern California roots. I may have played in a certain arena that is now home to the Coachella Valley Firebirds.
Hey, baby, let's go. You know where we're and look, we know where Full Press wants to go next year. I think a trip out to Indian Wells might just happen.
Ooh.
Indian Wells, I think so.
Doesn't
But
it doesn't beat it.
no, it doesn't. But look, there's so much going on, rumors wise. You got Hellebuck, Luke Dubois, Carter Hart, Scott Lawton, guys. What are they doing? Devils, what are they doing? But before we get out of here and get you ready, Senator's sale goes through. Michael
Yeah.
Landauer Group, $950 million US. State of the game is in really good shape. Good on the Senators, getting it done, get the announcement out of the way. You can settle things in before the draft. Good on them.
Yeah, I mean they went with the you hate to say it because they went with the safe guy. And you know what?
That's a smart move.
They absolutely need that. Now, obviously, is that going to throw some things in flux? We all know that Pierre Dorion, in so much words a few weeks ago, had a basic vote of no confidence with DJ Smith. So it's going to be interesting to see what this new ownership group does in terms of management. You gotta think Smith is probably gone.
Probably gone. I maybe Dorian stays. Maybe during he may stay.
Thanks to Murray Pam, God bless him.
Yeah.
For the information that we get from Ottawa. But he tended to think kind of along those lines. But even as he hedged, and it's 100% true, we really don't know just yet. It's
No, we
so
don't.
it's so early in the process. I mean, look, we know there's another shoe, so to speak, and that got debunked in the last few days, obviously, when Patrick Waugh came out and said NHL interest. Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
Not now, anyway.
Not now. So, you know what? Right now, it's a good day for Ottawa. It looks like that quote unquote downtown, even though it's 16 miles from the center of Ottawa project. Okay, it's closer than Canada.
Yeah, it really is.
For those that don't know, if you go from the center of Ottawa to Canada, you can order an entire meal, eat it, have a few drinks, sip on some cocktails, and still not get to Canada during rush hour.
It's true. Facts. Hashtag facts.
Mm-hmm.
But look, there's so many question marks around the Senators. The Brinket, where does he go? Murray's had great articles up there, fullpresshockey.com. What they're gonna do, who they're gonna try to trade him for. Can they move him? What do they do? But again, with the draft so close to this sale, how quickly do they turn over management and everything? I think that's why I think Pierre Dorion gets at least a year because the draft is so close.
Yeah, it's too close. I mean, we could be wrong. I mean,
Yeah, we could
you
be
never
wrong, but
know.
but that means the next guy's got to come in here and do work like that.
And that's never ever easy.
No, and it's usually never a good thing.
No, no, we've seen disasters like that where teams were transitioning from one GM to another, or one draft guy to another. Hint: Shiro Conte, perhaps.
Yeah,
It doesn't
yeah,
look when you see it from even professional or fan experience, and you've seen how disastrous it goes. I don't care what fan or expert of a team you are, you don't wish that upon another team
no,
ever. It's
no,
disrespectful.
it really is. So we'll see what happens in Ottawa. We're gonna see what happens in Game 5. The Cup, can it come out tonight?
Mm.
Can. We'll see what
The
happens.
I've heard the Nightmare Bear thinks that Vegas is going to indeed survive the bear.
So the
There should be
Bears,
the
but does
Bears
Florida
survive.
survive the Bear? That's the real question. Maybe. Look, I think there's a really good chance of Stanley Cup. You're seeing it tonight. I really do. So look, it's going to be a fun, interesting game. We teed it up for you on the only pregame show you need, Full Press Hockey Weekly. I've been your host, Jim Berenger, the voice of Full Press Hockey, along with Chris Wassel, Ian behind the scenes at Full Press NHL on Twitter, Full Press coverage on Facebook, fullpresshockey.com, Full Press coverage on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Enjoy Game 5, everybody. We'll see you real soon.